Check 1 2, check 1 2. Greetings, Magus. All right, this is just a pop-up stream. I'll maybe go for about an hour and a half, kind of a last-minute thing, but I had some time. I've got some decisions made and some things that are worth showing off. A lot of progress made the last couple of days, so yeah. All right. All right. I'm going to show you a couple of things. And then we're also going to we're going to make a little advancement in the Civil War quest line so that we can get some Stormcloak attacks going, which I think is important. But before we do that, get a nice sunny spot here. Okay, so this is kind of where I'm at with things. So this is the tarnished version of the armor. I have worked and reworked these textures like frickin' crazy, and I'm not done yet. There's still more work to do, but I'm getting very, very close. And he looks absolutely badass. So what I did is I swapped out the red headband for a black one, Strudel. There's a black one as part of the mod, so I just went with that. Okay. And this tarnished version of the armor, I couldn't be more pleased with it. Again, so yeah. So you can see I made some customizations to the helmet. I filled in this kind of curved band underneath the brush and made it black. I have finalized this fur collar. That's done. And the armor itself, the cuirass, is almost done. There's one minor change I'm going to make in that. The sleeves and the pauldrons are basically done. These two little pieces of metal here sticking out, I'm still playing around with those a little bit. So there'll be a little bit more there. The gauntlets are done. The boots are a work in progress. The boots have some weird stuff going on. I'm happy with the textures, but there's something going on with the alpha channels that when the sun is bright, it loses detail, like you can see on the toe of the boot right there. So if we look at the boot from this angle, it looks normal, but if the boot faces the sun, then we actually get strange metallic-like reflections even on the fur. And that's something that I need to change. I've tried making changes in the texture to fix that, and I have a feeling it's going to be, in the end, it's going to be something that'll be part of the mesh. So anyway. Let's see. Changes in the face also. I went with a different nose type to kind of make it look like it's been broken a few times. I like the brutality of that look. I think it's also going to fit better with his voice, the voice that I'm going to be giving him. And it also, I think, makes him look his age a little bit more, you know? He looks a bit more seasoned to me, and I really dig it. Now, of course, in the final analysis, I'm going to have to I'll be recreating all of this from scratch. And then the lighting, I'm pretty happy with the lighting as well, in that it makes his hair actually look like it's gone from blonde to white. This is actually a setting for blonde colored hair, but the way this lighting works out and juxtaposed with his slightly darker skin tone and the black headband, it makes it look like he's aging to white, which I think is good. So that's kind of where we're at with this. But it just, he looks, I mean, I get a stronger sense of brutality from this character than I get even from Idastog. And Idastog is a brutal character, but this guy, he oozes menace, and I love it. I love it. It'll be really awesome to sort of juxtapose that imagery, the way that he looks and his battle experience and his violent side, with this desire that he has to change things, right? So people are going to look at him and they're going to make some snap judgments, which I think is the way we want it. That makes it that much more complicated for him, which is just fine. Okay. Yeah, I like his eye color as well. I haven't done anything really to doctor his eye color. This is kind of like the hazel. I do have an eye enhancement mod but it doesn't make really major changes. So I really think it looks great. It looks, when he's wearing the helmet, he looks almost like a raptor. He looks predatory, and I love that whole thing. And then the tarnished armor is really nice. It stands out even more when he's in the company of other Imperial soldiers, and you get a chance to see kind of how seasoned he looks compared to them, which I think is fantastic. So that's kind of the goal. That's what I'm after. That's the image I'm looking for, and I'm really close to finishing off this armor. There's a couple of minor changes yet to make. As I said, some of these pauldron plates, they're not texturing the way that I would like. The boots. And then the fur on his back, the fur that kind of hangs down his shoulder, it's got some weird texture things going on as well, in that it's reflecting light as if it were metal, which I don't like either. So we'll have to deal with that. This hunter should give it up. He should quit while he's ahead. Oh, ambushed.
You won't live to see tomorrow.
Is that it? We get them all? Okay, so at this point, just through playtesting, I've gotten him up to level 20. And as an Imperial, I'm using Imperious races, and as an Imperial, I don't know if it's every 5 or 10 levels or what it is, you get some bonuses. You get some, I guess, you get some bonuses that you get to distribute how you want to. And typically what it is you take an attribute of your choice, which is going to be your health, stamina, or magicka, and you increase it 50%. But in order to do that, you have to drop another attribute by 50%. And then they do the same thing for weaknesses. So you can get some extra protection against an element, but then you've got to have a vulnerability to an element. So it's kind of a trade-off. So I've been doing that, and he's been really focused. The attribute that I've been focusing on is health, sacrificing magicka, and then the elemental buffs and vulnerabilities. I've been giving him a buff against fire and a vulnerability to poison. So he's actually really set up very, very well when it comes to resisting fire damage, which seems like a good way to go given the Civil War mods that we're using and some of the heavy, flame-based attacks that we're going to see. Especially with the siege guns and all that kind of stuff. There's basically fire everywhere. He's pretty tired right now. What we really need to do is go get some sleep. That's why the stamina is draining so quickly. And he's moving slow. Come on.
Sons of Skyrim.
I see it. Ha ha! Bastard. Woo! Ooh. One hide in the trees there. Okay. Okay. So tonight... Holy shit. Look at that mess. Now he looks even more menacing. Yeah. Well, we can at least eat and drink, and then what I'm going to do is we're going to take a little trip to his campsite, and this is something that Balefish again has been helping out with, and I thought y'all might be interested in having a look at that, at his handiwork, which is really fantastic, and I'm ever so grateful because it is really going to put this story over the top compared to customizations I've been able to do to stories in the past. So it's pretty stunning, and he's far from finished, which is kind of amazing. So he's just been providing a crap ton of support. Here's a question for you guys. You see this horse? This horse is called Fish. And I have not been able to figure out what mod it comes from. Now, the first thing I did was I went to Balefish and I said, hey, thanks for the Easter egg. You left a horse in your mod. And he's like, nope, that's not me. I assumed it was Balefish because the horse was called Fish. But if you ride this horse, it looks like Shadowmere, but it's got this custom saddle, and it goes about 3 or 4 times faster than a normal horse. It's really ridiculous. And I don't know what mod it came from, but if it pops up in the story version of this game, I'm going to have to either hide this animal or disable it somehow. So if you guys know what mod this might possibly come from, I've got about 160 mods in the lineup now, and I can't figure out which one this would be coming from. So, food for thought, y'all. I even Googled it, and I couldn't find anything. So I'm not sure where that's coming from. Oh, that's gorgeous. Okay. So, this camp includes a bunch of custom stuff for Kaleo. It's going to have these placeable barriers, which we can put in. There's 2 different kinds of placeable barriers. This is the other kind right here. That's barricade 1. And then barricade 2. I put up a couple of those. And then this is the custom tent. And he's making several different versions of this tent, and then alternate versions as well that will allow Kaleo to build things like lean-tos and stuff like that to store gear and to keep wood dry. And we'll be able to make really, really interesting campsites with this stuff. And I like this spot as well. I think for the story, we're going to make a camp exactly like this. It's basically in an ancient graveyard, and it's just up the road from Camp Argentum. So when the Civil War battles around Camp Argentum kick in, this area is going to be flooded with storm cloaks, and there's going to be explosions and guns going off everywhere. So this will be a good vantage point for him. And let's also remember that Kaleo is on his own. Because he's unpledged, he's not allowed to take refuge inside the camp. He's got to camp outside on his own. And for that reason, he has to hunt for his own food, he has to cook his own food, and he has to cover his own ass as well. So building in a camp like this, where he has a strategic advantage, I think is going to be really critical. So being able to build barricades and do all of that stuff is going to be essential for his survival. Plus, I also like the imagery of, you know, the commanding officer at Camp Argentum basically saying, you know, where's Ferrata? And the answer that she gets in return is, oh, yeah, he's in the graveyard down the road. You know, that kind of thing. It just seems fitting for the character. So, anyway, there's a whole laundry list of new placeable objects that Bayofish is planning on building into this. And basically what this is it's a plug-in that rides on top of Campfire, the Campfire mod. So what you need is the Campfire mod, then you install this patch, and it adds a whole bunch of additional camping equipment and placeable items. So there will be multiple tents, multiple barricades. There's going to be a log for him to place and sit on as a chair, table, a couple of different ways that he can hang his banner, all that kind of stuff. So pretty awesome. Very grateful for that. All right. Let's advance things a little bit. And tonight, if you're interested, we are listening to some music that is being added. It's being added to the Unpledged playlist. It is part of the Cryo Chamber stable of artists, and this artist is called Paleo Wolf. And I discovered Paleo Wolf earlier today and have been kind of going through all of the music, and all of it is pretty remarkably fitting for the stuff that we're going to be doing. So if you want to check it out, you can go to Spotify and just search for Paleo Wolf, and you'll find some stuff out there that's pretty awesome, I would say. All right, let's get some rest. Okay. Our camping perk has been increased. Now we're going to leave this here as a base camp. So I think what I kind of envision for this character is that as we get more involved in the Civil War, this character is going to be making base camps around Skyrim. In a similar way to what we did with Etienne. We'll be setting up base camps in different areas where the conflict is hot, and he'll be working in that area for a while, and then he'll pack up and leave. We're also going to be getting missions that we're going to have to go on that will be separate from the Civil War, and we'll probably kind of do the same thing for those. The plan is to sort of travel with intent, as we do. All right. We're not going to get involved in this conflict. What we need to do at this point is we are going to fast travel to Solitude. Let's see if I can do that here. Now I haven't swapped out my map mod yet. That's coming. And we're going to turn in the Jagged Crown, which will basically solidify us as being on the Imperial side of the conflict. That'll mean we're going to get attacked much more often. But it's kind of time to do that. I need to get this quest moving forward, because what we need to do is we need to get through the Civil War quest line so that we can do some testing of the Second Great War mod.
I don't buy fancy clothes. You look like you might. I hear Radiant Raiments is a large selection. No lollygagging.
Kind of hard to see in this light, but there's definitely a
looking for you.
difference.
Got something I'm supposed to deliver.
Is
Your
that
hands
right?
only. Let's see here. There's a new museum opening up in Dawnstar. The owner is asking me to hand out invitations to travelers. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
So, you can cast a few spells. Am I supposed to be impressed?
How about I punch you in the face? What do you think about
If you
that,
need
say?
potions, head over to Angeline's Aromatics. Waiting.
You're that one from the college. Heard about you.
Pine Moon Cave is down to the southwest, but it isn't fit for exploring. There are stories. Vampires, some say. You can sell off that junk at bits and pieces.
Ulfric will want to take Whiterun from us, but we will hold fast. We can't give the rebellion free rein through the center of Skyrim.
Is your fucking crown.
Excellent work, soldier. I have to admit, I had my doubts it even existed. Did you run into any trouble?
Oh, no. No trouble at all.
Yes. Well, I didn't respond as quickly to the legate's suggestion as perhaps I should have. But at least we ended up with a damn crown. Now then, I need someone I can trust to deliver a message of great import to Jarl Balgruf of Whiterun. We have it on good authority that Ulfric has raised enough men to attack the city of Whiterun. The Jarl, however, refuses the Legion's support. This missive should convince him. Be aware, soldier. These documents contain sensitive intelligence for the Jarl's eyes only.
What do you need? If it's arms or armor you need, see Berend in Castle Dower. Bloody good blacksmith, that one.
This is actually really
Be a lot
awesome, too,
warmer and a lot
because
happier with a belly full of meat.
the idea that they've got someone who was formerly a legate
I mostly deal with petty thievery and
delivering
robbers.
messages.
This will
It's like
obviously benefit
it's a perfect insult, right? So that I think that'll play well story-wise. Would Kaleo read those documents along the way? I think he absolutely would.
You're interesting, traveler.
Absolutely would. I mean, his thought on this, right? Think about it. Yes, he's been demoted. Yes, he's been stripped of his ranks and affiliations, but he's going to be thinking to himself, what more could they do to me? So I read the documents. Who gives a shit? I just spent 2 years in prison. What do I care, right? I mean, we kind of have to look at it from the perspective of he's fatalistic,
Offense is a good defense, man.
you know? He firmly believes that the Imperial Army has sent him to Skyrim to die. Simplici is a death sentence. So he doesn't give a shit. He would read those. Absolutely he would. In fact, we'll do one better. And maybe we should read them in the rain just to add insult, right? Okay. What am I looking for? Are they actually here, or are they like just an item? Do you guys know? Okay. Sid gear, that's what we got from the courier. Reinforcements needed, no. So is it an item? If it's like it may be like a scroll case or something like that, right? I don't know. Yeah. Message from Tullius. Yeah, we can't read it. But that doesn't matter. because in the context of the game, we can do whatever we want to. So, in a way, that's actually kind of cool because we can make up the contents of that letter to say whatever we want, which I think would be sort of cool. So in essence, it gives us more freedom. And one of the things that I've been doing in the last few stories that I've done, in fact, starting with the passage, is that I've been actually crafting my letters in Photoshop as transparent PNGs and then doing them as overlays instead of making mods. Just because it gives me more flexibility, it allows me to add some sort of, visual pizzazz to the way the letters look, different things like that. So we got a lot of freedom to do whatever we need to do to tell the story the way we want to tell it, I guess. So. Well done, soldier. Let me take this one. That's what you call total war. Killing the wounded, eh? That's fine. Fine by me. All right, we mopped that up. All right. So back to Whiterun, which takes us right through the major war zone. What's wrong with that? Whoa. That's unfortunate. All right, let's dance. So we got a bunch of things that we need to test. The Second Great War is one that I want to test a fair amount. And we can't even begin to test that until we get through the Civil War quest line first. So we've got to make our way through that. I also want to test the Forgotten City, because I'm thinking about using that as a way to wrap up this storyline, which would be an Act 3 quest. And then we've also got this overlay that I'm working on of this situation with him having blackouts and waking up at the bottom of dungeons and having to fight his way out. And that is going to require some play testing as well, just to try to figure out what dungeons to use. And I've been thinking about that. Part of the problem with using the dungeons available in the vanilla game is that everybody knows them, and a lot of those dungeons have areas that are locked off because of quest lines. So I toyed around with the idea of using a mod like Forgotten Dungeons. So I did a little play testing of one dungeon from Forgotten Dungeons mod today. I was not overly impressed with the design. It really wasn't very imaginative. It was the same hallway, the same tunnel over and over again in a kind of a continuing maze. And if all of them are like that,
You won't live to see tomorrow.
so if you guys have any thoughts on that, mods that maybe add good dungeons that would be spooky that we could use for that purpose, I would be open to suggestions. I'm hoping for things that are kind of well designed, however, and it doesn't have to be a specifically a dungeon mod. It could be, you know, a mod that has a really cool castle in it, or a dungeon or something like that that's part of a larger mod or something like that. What I'm going to be looking for is several locations that I can use throughout the story to tell this tale. So I'm thinking what I'm going to want is something like, you know, 6 or so good locations. But I would really like them to be interesting. Tank. Okay, this mage has got to go. She's killing me, man. Sorry. Back into the river. Bad choices. Oh, nice. I like that one. Yeah, I mean, I know that Forgotten Dungeons adds a lot of dungeons, and I've only checked out one of them so far, but it was really not very interesting at all. It was just ooh. Yeah, there are some player home mods that could be good. I'm thinking specifically of ones that, you know, are like castles and fortresses. What I want is something that the nice thing about dungeons, however, is that we don't have to stock them with monsters, right? And what I really want is to have a scenario where he basically blacks out And he doesn't know how long he's out, but when he wakes up, or what he thinks is waking up, he finds himself at the bottom of basically like a pit, right? And he's got to fight his way out. Now, it's possible that the dungeon I looked at was just the first one that the mod author made, and it just wasn't very good, and that the other ones got better. So I'll probably play test a couple of more, but so far it hasn't been, too interesting to look at. And, a lot of the really spectacular places in Skyrim are places that are sort of locked off to us because they're part of something else. They're part of a quest, or, like things like Mazulft and Labyrinthian and some of those other ones. Anyway. All right. Let's move forward a little bit. Let's get ourselves up to Rorikstad. Maybe Clockwork. I don't know. That may actually be a bit more involved than I want to go. What I'm thinking is I would like a dungeon that I could probably do in an hour or less.
If you're thinking of setting up the farm,
That kind of thing. That's kind of the scale I'm looking for. So, I don't know. See, now this fish horse is attached to my character now. Every time I fast travel, I'm stuck with it. And I don't know where it comes from. I like the idea of Clockwork because of its creepiness. So it's possible that we could use part of it. My only concern with that is, of course, it's a full-on quest mod with a lot of resources. And if we're only using a fraction of those resources, it might be a drain. I don't know. Who's next? No one. But keep the ideas coming, and feel free to share them in Discord as well. Like I said, I'm looking for about 6 different locations, and I would say the scale of the dungeons that I'm looking for are probably equivalent to something like Mazulft or Labyrinthian, that kind of thing. And, feel free to also throw out options that are in the vanilla game as well.
Before I do something drastic.
We are going to be doing these in reverse order, which should be sort of unsettling for the audience. And it'll make those dungeons that they're used to seeing a little bit unfamiliar because we'll be going through them backwards, which will be kind of interesting. There's, for example, there is the dungeon that you go through for, when you return the lexicon, for example. Now, of course, when you go through that dungeon, normally there's all these ghosts and they're telling a story along the way, right? So that may be the kind of thing where I play through it in advance to get the little ghost dialogue over with, and then I create a save at the bottom so that when the time comes to switch over to that experience, I just go to that save and then fight my way out. And of course, it's got a drop-off at the beginning also that makes it impossible for you to go completely out the way that you came in. So I would have to doctor that a little bit, but I think the idea here is that he blacks out, he has this experience, and when he wakes up, he's in the same place he started. So it would be sort of like the equivalent of a dream that he's having while he is unconscious, essentially. So we can have him start and stop anywhere we need to. We have that flexibility. Yes, Avanchanzel. That scale is probably about right, I would say. It's a fight. These pikemen are troublesome. You see his fire resistance, man? Like, kind of makes you wonder if his armor isn't tarnished because of flames. Oh, these guys are giving me trouble.
I'll beat the snow with your blood.
Oh, this mage. All right. Get her out of the way. Sightless Pit? Yeah, that's another one, right? Ooh. Sightless Pit is a good one because, if I remember correctly, that is one that is all wonky, too. Like, the hallways are crushed and collapsed. It's loaded with Falmer. Okay, who's that coming at me now? Oh, I see you. Come on. You gotta do better than that. Yeah, Sightless Pit is good. What's the one? There's one. Let me think here. Looking at the map. It's another Falmer infested one that is east of Whiterun. Kind of as you're heading towards Felglow. Yeah, Shimmer Mist. Shimmer Mist. That's a nice crazy one too. And I'm kind of the way I'm thinking about it is we have him appear at the bottom and fight his way to the surface, and we have him snap out of these visions kind of right at the point where he would exit or close to it. So the ones that actually have entrances where, you know, you walk up into the light, as it were, those are actually really good ones because I like the potential symbolism, you know, of walking toward the sunlight kind of a thing. That could be kind of cool. So... Don't hit the mammoth. Big mistake. Yeah, Shimmer Mist might be a nice one. Avanchanzel, we could make Avanchanzel work. Some people had suggested Kagramez from Solstheim. The only problem with that is you can't really do it in reverse. It's basically just a big arena with wave after wave of automatons and stuff like that. So it doesn't really work for my purposes very well. But there could be some other ones in Solstheim that might work as well. I don't know. Anyway, you guys get the idea what I'm looking for. So the idea would be that I could create a save there. I could put up the story loading screen. I could drop the character in. Oh, here we go. Sorry. Look at these wicked things. That's a cool addition, I think. Okay, so one other thing that I want to ask you guys about and get your opinions on. Let's see. Well, let's do this. I thought I had one already, but I guess that was with my Mark I character. Okay, as instructed, you are to eliminate Kaleo Ferrata M2 by any means necessary. The Black Sacrament has been performed. Somebody wants this poor fool dead. We've all blah, 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 blah. Okay? There are several instances. There's several instances in the game where it takes whatever we name our character and inserts it into a document like this. It doesn't happen too often, but it happens often enough that we should pay attention to it. So my thought is, we all know that this is Kaleo Ferrata, and it's going to use whatever we name our character to insert here. So my question for you is, in the final version of this character, should we name the character Kaleo Ferrata? Or should we tell the audience that that's what the character's name is, and then use an actual character name of something more derogatory towards him, like, you know, the dog or the dead dog or the unpledged or something like that? So that's the wording that appears in these letters. It's easy for me, through storytelling, obviously, to communicate what his name is. So that's not a big deal. So rather than having something like this, you know, it would basically be, you know, as instructed, you are to eliminate the dog or whatever it is we decide to call him, right? That would be an interesting way to, I think, very easily add some additional flavor to this. So, food for thought. And I haven't, you know, I mean, officially soldiers, like in Kaleo's situation, are referred to as unpledged or simplici. But I'm guessing that there's some derogatory nicknames for them as well in the ranks of the soldiers. And I'm thinking that one of those might be, you know, might be dog, dead dog, right? We've already got several instances where NPCs in the game, especially bandits and stormcloaks who attack him, refer to him as a dog or a dirty dog by default as part of the vanilla dialogue, which will reinforce that. The other thing we could do is go with something like black dog, you know, that kind of thing. But I think it might be sort of interesting to do that. Yeah, you're right. It might be too generic. You could also add it as a moniker or something like that. I don't know. Something to think about. I like the idea of it being derogatory. Having it cut at him personally. So I think something other than his full name would be good. Something to think about, yes? You see what I see. Come on, bye, mister. Hurts, done it. Aye. No, I'm not ready to die. You could go with something like Kaleo the dog. That might be a nice happy medium. Yeah, Kaleo the dog. EJ. EJ nailed it right there. So maybe we'll go with something like that because we know that we're going to encounter a customized letter with the assassins. Everybody knows that one is that's probably the most obvious one, but there are some other instances of that. You can get the occasional mysterious letter from a friend or, you know, just different things like that. Maybe I don't know if Jarl Siggeir, if his invitation says that. I don't know if it has a name. Does it? Yeah. Kaleo Ferrata. You get an invitation, a friendly invitation to come and work for the Jarl, but it's addressed to Kaleo the dog. There's a built-in insult in every communication, which I think is kind of interesting. Yeah. And I think that Kaleo is going to embrace that. He's going to embrace his situation. So I think that would be good. So people might call him Kaleo the dog, but then, you know, when he goes to the tavern, there'll be the assholes at the corner table, you know, who'll be saying things like, you know, dead dog more like, ha ha ha, you know, that kind of thing.
What are you looking at? I'm not afraid of you. No, even if you are my elder.
So, a couple additions I put in here I'm pretty excited about. I put in the holidays of Skyrim so that periodically, as time passes, we'll be able to see the citizens in the different cities putting up decorations and celebrating in the streets and drinking and dancing and celebrating holidays. I like that because it's going to bring life to the cities, but it also will be it'll also be interesting to juxtapose these celebrations with his awful situation, right? So, you know, he's basically a man who's destined to die, but he's forced to walk through cities filled with reveling people and stuff like that, which I think will add to it. The other thing I did was I added bells of Skyrim so that when there are wars and battles inside the cities, bells will start chiming, you know, warning bells, and the guards will run around and respond to those alarms. I think that'll be cool when we get into some of these bigger battles and things like that.
Patron of the great clan Battleborn.
These are all like little details that I think will really help a lot to add some color to what we're doing. Okay, let me see here. It's time for us to... We're going to change out. I'm going to stick with Paleo Wolf, I think. But we're going to go to... a different album. This one is called Archetypal. And I'm just going to set it on shuffle. See what that's like. Darkfall Passage. Darkfall Passage. Is that part of the... Okay, that's the Dawn Guard thing. Yeah. If I don't have to do the Dawn Guard, yeah, I would. I don't know.
What is it that you need? No doubt requesting to garrison his men in my castle. How many times must I deny him? Well, out with it!
Ulfric plans to attack Whiterun. The general wants to lend Legion troops.
I see. Give the papers to my steward.
I was given strict instructions for the Jarl's eyes only.
Don't be daft. Proventus is my eyes. Just give me the letter. I presume once I have it, I can do as I please with it? Good.
You can wipe your fucking
These
ass
are
with it for
interesting
all I care.
reports. Proventus, what do you make of all this? If Ulfric were to attack Whiterun,
As in all things, Lord, caution. I urge us to wait and see.
Pray wait.
I'm of a mind with Irileth. It's time to act.
You plan to march on Windhelm?
I'm not a fool, Proventus. I mean, it's time to challenge Ulfric to face me as a man, or to declare his intentions.
He'll do no such thing.
He was rather straightforward with Torrig.
Torrig? He simply walked up to the boy and murdered him.
That boy was High King of Skyrim.
I'm not the High King, but neither am I a boy. If Ulfric wants to challenge my rule in the old way, let him. Though I suspect he'll prefer to send his storm cloaks to do it for him.
True. He's already proven his personal strength. Now he seeks to prove his armies.
Then might I urge you to consider General Tullius's request? I mean, if you are bent on offending Jarl Ulfric.
Ulfric is the one who has offended. But Proventus has a point. Ulfric has made it clear. In his mind, to refuse his claim is to side with the Empire.
And what harm is there in letting a few legionnaires die in place of your own men?
It seems cowardly.
Was it cowardly then to accept the white gold concordat?
This again? That was different. Was I given a chance to object to the terms of the treaty? No. The Jarls weren't asked. We were told. And we had to like it.
The chests of gold didn't hurt.
Damn it! This isn't about gold!
It's time to decide.
Lord, wait.
I like this
Let us see
dialogue.
if Ulfric is serious.
Oh, he's serious. But so am I.
Finally.
You there. I have a message for you to deliver to our friend, the esteemed Jarl of Windhelm. Deliver this axe to Ulfric Stormcloak.
Right. You want me to say anything to him?
Men who understand one another need not waste words. There are but a few simple truths behind one warrior giving another his axe. Ulfric will know my meaning. May the gods watch over your battles, friend. Proventus, bring me my pen, and the good parchment.
Are we writing a letter, Lord?
Yes, to General Tullius. I need to make a few things clear before...
Alright. Deliver axe to Jarl Ulfric.
Except these legionnaires.
Deliver a fucking axe.
All right, question for you. So, is this guy foul-mouthed, or is he not? We better decide that now so I can get into the habit of not swearing if we're going that route. Twist has a higher pitched sort of whiny voice. This one's going to be deeper and have a lot of gravel in it.
So, you can cast a few spells. Am I supposed to be impressed?
Damn those gray mains to oblivion.
I don't have any more accents for you guys. That's all I got. There's limits to what I can do. I think I agree with the idea that we'll save it for... He'll use expletives, but we will save it for very, very, like, high-stress situations where almost anyone would swear. Otherwise, he'll conduct himself as a professional. Here's what I think about accents. I love accents. I love doing them. I love practicing them. The problem is I'm also trying to be practical, and there are some accents that I can do very easily. I can slip in and out of. And I run into difficulty sometimes when I'm alternating. If I alternate between being in character and doing commentary, there are some accents that are extremely difficult for me to get back. Like, once I'm in the groove, I gotta stay in the groove. Otherwise, I can't get it back, and I lose the mojo, and then it's over, right?
Be glad you're here in the city and not out in Riverwood.
That was all fine when I was recording this stuff, but if I'm doing it live, I'm really screwed. Like, when I was doing St. Billy, Billy's accent was hard for me to get into, but once I was in the zone, I was good. And because I was recording them, if I ever fell out of the zone, I could just get back in and keep recording. But doing these live, I got to stick with things I know that I can handle and that I can do for 3 or 4 hours straight without falling out. So that's part of the calculation I'm making here as I try to think of things that I can do. And Twist was one of those. That style of speech is something that I can pull off and I can sustain for a long period of time. So I think the objective here is going to be to come up with a flavor of that accent that is distinctly Kaleo's. I think that's what I'm looking to do. So that's kind of what I'm faced with. A combo of Twist and Idastog is kind of what I think I'm doing. I'm basically doing like a Twist-style accent, but I'm deepening it and adding gravel. So that's kind of what I think of with this idea. It is kind of marries those two together. Yes, I agree with you. I will keep the...
It's not fair. Come on. Fucking archers. Come on. Come on, soldier. There you go. There you go. That's a good one, eh? Come on. There you go. Hit it again. There you go. Well done.
Not saying A is going to be difficult. Extremely difficult. That's why I got to practice this shit. Cover the flank. Cover the flank. We will probably get diseased here. Oh, brutal.
I'm coming. You killed yourself. Well done.
Okay, let's try this. We are going to travel to Windhelm. We're going to add depth. We're going to add gravel. No accent whatsoever. Maybe a little bit. Maybe what we'll do is we'll get away from the Cockney and we'll just add a little color. What do you say? Try that. So we might say something like
Winterhold, Iverstead, Riften, Windhelm. Is anyone coming? I don't see anyone. Why do they call me a dog? It's not like I'm itchy. It's not like I'm covered in fleas. I'm just a regular guy with a sword and a shield and a bad attitude and a hatred of bandits. Who doesn't hate bandits after all?
You're already dead.
Oh! Two in rapid succession. I like that.
Can't wait to count out your toy.
I wait.
Victory or Sovngarde!
Yes. Here we go. It is a beautiful night.
Thought I heard something. I can take you.
Ah, you are the chief. See you later.
I've never seen that happen before. That was fucking awesome. I love that.
This is why when I train my men, we emphasize not overcommitting to your swings. Let's see. Oblivion Unbound. Does not sound like the reading of a soldier. Sounds dull. Dry. Sure. Who is this? Ah, pesky lock. This one won't budge.
Okay, does Kaleo pick locks? What do you think? Is Kaleo going to be a lock-picking guy? We kind of need to decide that, too. Being, of course, painfully aware that if we choose to go that route like we did in Barbarian, we're going to be missing out on some prime loot, potentially. All right, let's take a look. Legendary, legendary. All this is at legendary now. Okay, cool. Legendary. What is happening? All right, expert. I think we can safely say that Kaleo has worked in every facet of the Imperial Army at some point or another. He's been in service since the age of 16. He is a career soldier. So I think we can safely say that as he worked his way up through the ranks, he held pretty much every position you could hold. So I don't have a problem with that at all. Whoa, these guys are tough. Back it up.
Silly dog. For the sons of Skyrim.
Die, dog. You heard it. Jeez. These guys are presenting me with a shield wall here. This is... Wow.
I'll water the ground with your blood.
This is at expert, and this is with all legendary gear. Good God. This is great, though. I love this. Damn. Look at them, man. They're kicking me back. It's like they're working together. And I'm leveling like crazy. There we go. Now we're getting the advantage.
That's all you got?
Your friend is dead. Does that not bother you?
Oh, woo! Look at, she's getting aggressive. This is a great battle. Oh, damn it. She's gonna... I gotta get some shots in here, man. Yeah. Jesus. That was well fought. Very well fought. Yeah, she finished me. That's
faithless Imperials.
combination of difficulty and... See? All it takes is a split second. Now, I got the advantage that time. So, man. Okay, that's expert difficulty. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. And Wildcat, of course, we're running Wildcat. Jesus. If I get surrounded by those guys, I'll be screwed. You know? Ah.
It is a long way to this Windhelm.
I don't know. Sounds too much like Idastog to me. The problem with the gravel is that really starts to hurt my throat after a while, and it's going to limit how long I can do streams. Ultimate Combat? What is that? I don't know what that is. I don't know. I was doing deep and not gravelly, and it sounded like Idastog to me. So, I don't know. If Ultimate Combat is a mod, I'm not running it. I'm just running Wildcat Combat Overhaul. If Ultimate Combat is a feature,
Jesus.
Is a feature of Wildcat or something like that? Then maybe. I don't know. Maybe. No. Okay, if it's a separate mod, then I'm not. The only combat overhaul I'm running is Wildcat. So, yep. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll go back to that accent. I'm not sure.
Out of our sight.
Our audience is definitely not going to be hurting for a lack of action, right? Like, oh man, this is bad. Holy shit. Got no defense against that.
Talos guide you.
Yeah, I'm in a save
We show
loop now,
those
aren't I?
faithless dogs who this
I'm going to
land
stop
belongs
looking at
to.
your comments so I can survive this, okay? We'll talk later. Okay, the loop is broken. Yes, I have a mixer. In fact, I have effects on it right now, and I use it to deepen my voice and add other effects, things like that. But what the mixer can do is it can add things like reverb. It can allow me to EQ my voice, so you know, to adjust the mids, highs, and lows up and down, and I do that a lot. Okay. Let's keep working the stamina. Heavy armor, blocking, and one-handed. Okay, last time I invested in heavy armor and block before that. I think we need to keep the lethality going here, if you will. All right, so let's see. So that Middle Eastern accent that I was thinking of doing, that Middle Eastern sort of influenced accent, is one of those that is kind of harder for me to pull off, but it was a stretch, it was a challenge, and I felt like I could pull that one off. So that's why I was originally attempting that. And I may still go back to it. What I like about it is it's definitely different than anything I've done, right? So
Here we go.
fuck. A dialect? I don't want to have to do a shit ton of research. How am I going to do that? Like, what's that like? Is it more than just affectations, or what is it like? All right, let's test this out. I got to go back to Adept. Well, he is from common stock. That's part of the reason why I liked the Cockney idea, because it's workmanlike. But if I'm going to do that, it's got to be distinctive, right? Like it's got to be distinctive enough, you know. Basically, what I need is I need it to fit the character, and I need it to not require a lot of research, and I need it to be something that I can do easily for an extended period of time. If it ends up turning into something that I've got to practice a lot to do right, it's going to be a disaster because then I won't be streaming. What I'll be doing is I'll constantly be nervous about streaming, you know, and I'm not going to do that to myself because I want the story to be successful. So I'm trying to be sensitive to what I understand my own limitations to be, but hopefully challenge myself a little bit as well. So I'm trying to find that balance, I guess. Jesus Christ. Whoa.
Fire, frost, or light, you will suffer at my hand.
Okay, that mage really had to go. The frost is a killer for me because it slows me down, and when Kaleo is slowed down, that's a huge disadvantage. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that.
Why are we even going to a wedding at this far-flung end of the Empire anyway?
I told you, it's the wedding of Victoria Beachy, an extremely well-connected
Die, dog! Bastard!
Come on.
Don't hurt me.
This dog doesn't bite. Or does he? Come on.
I'm getting out of here.
Oh, God. I'm going to take some shots.
I'll have to hit!
What happened?
Don't bother me, peasant. I've had a long journey and paid too much coin on these gifts to be late to Victoria's wedding.
Okay. Imagine Kaleo Ferrata walking into Windhelm. Jesus. Gotta figure out how to play that. Well, I'll think about the voice some more and then figure out what I want to do. I'm not sure. Just deepening my own voice I don't think is going to have the impact I want. So I think it's going to be a combination of things. I think it's going to be some affectations, some phrasing, some things that, you know, his manner of speech, the words he chooses to use in combination with probably some kind of accent. I just don't know what. But there's plenty of time to figure that out. There's quite a bit of adventuring to do. In we go. Now, after this, after you give him the axe...
You come here where you're not wanted. You eat our food, you pollute our city with your stink, and you refuse to help the Stormcloaks.
We haven't taken a side because it's not our fight.
I can't remember what happens
Maybe the
next.
reason
If that
these
takes us
rations
straight
don't
to the
open the
Battle of Whiterun or what
Imperial
that
spies.
does.
Imperial
So-
spies? You can't be
It'd
serious.
be good to figure this out.
Maybe we'll pay you a visit tonight.
A few symptoms.
It's no secret the Aretino boy is doing some ritual.
Okay, let's do this. Make a new save here so we can go back and replay this if we want.
I'm not much of a strategist, but look, if you have any news of the Western Holds, take it to Ulfric immediately. Travel safely. It's dangerous out there.
Ooh. Into the lion's den, as it were.
Yes? Make it quick. I'm a busy man. Is that so? I've been wondering when he'd come around. Oh. What's this? Ah. You're quite brave to carry such a message. It's a pity you've chosen the wrong side. You can return this axe to the man who sent it, and tell him he should prepare to entertain visitors. I expect a great deal of excitement in the city of Whiterun in the near future.
I love that. Okay.
Take care.
Yeah, he can stand in with these scary guys. He's scary enough. That'll work. Okay. So, let's fast travel back, but we won't go all the way back. I want to make sure I kind of know what the approach is like. So...
It's nothing.
I cannot fest it. Yeah. This is what you want, huh?
I'll let those guys take care of the courier. since we're supposed to be on the defensive, right? My assumption is that this is going to let us get inside the city, and then the battle will commence at some point after that. That makes sense. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to fast travel to Camp Argentum.
Everybody pushes me around. Well, no more!
I'll tear you to pieces.
I can take you.
You're
There's
good
no
as
escape.
dead.
You think I'm afraid of you?
I'll see
Yeah,
you in
these guys
pieces.
got kind of a
You can take
clusterfuck
me? You
going
don't have it
on
now.
here.
I'll fix you good.
I'll raise a cup to your brain. I'll gladly give you myself.
I'll get you.
Come on, let's see you put up a fight.
Water the ground with your blood.
I will destroy you.
You don't have it. That's what you want?
Let's see if we can get them through this battle. Then what I'd like to do is take on Gobu, Gallia,
Put up a fight.
and Cassius, and then go and try to play through that Battle of Whiterun with those guys as followers.
There's no escape.
And we'll see what happens.
Like the bite of a flea. This is the end for you.
Think I'm afraid of you?
It's nothing.
Destroy you. Come on, show me what you've got.
Let's keep following Gallia. She seems to know where the enemy is in this mess. Let's get in front here. We can take some of these shots.
Come on, you don't have a fight.
Escape.
Oh, she's a badass.
Come on, let's see you put up a fight.
You've already lost.
I'm going to restart here. gets rid of that water sound, but pain in the ass.
Let's see you put up a fight.
There's going to be a certain amount of that shit going on in the live stream. You just know it. There's no way to get around it, unfortunately.
I'm waiting. You're someone who can get things done. Let's not waste any time.
All right. I'm not going to customize her gear.
Yes?
Let's see if we can track down
May
Gobu.
your next fight bring you victory, friend. Huh?
Divine smile on you. Yes? Lead the way.
I'm not going to bother customizing their gear or anything like that, but for the story, we will do what we can to make them distinctive. Who's this guy?
You've been a good friend to me. That
I have?
means something.
Aw. That's sweet. Okay. Brutus. Let's see if we can find Cassius. I don't know where he would be. He could be anywhere in the forest here, but maybe we'll get lucky. Not that guy. That's a mage.
Need something?
Yes.
Yes?
There he is.
Good day, friend. Lead the way.
All right. Now let's take him with us to Whiterun and then see what happens after we visit the Jarl. All right. Let's quick save here.
Sure, have mercy!
Ah, it's a long haul back, my friends. A long haul back.
Let's let him catch up. Okay, everybody's here. Now I'm interested to see what happens with this checkpoint here during the Battle of Whiterun, like if it causes any problems with the AI, because my followers won't go through the gate. They all go around. They'll find another way to go around that. So I'm interested to see what happens when the Stormcloaks charge that checkpoint. I'm hoping it works out because I like that there. It adds that mod adds checkpoints all over Skyrim, and it just really enhances things, I feel like. All right, I don't know why they're not coming. They will. All right, so this is the plan. We're going to play through the Battle of Whiterun, hopefully, here. And then I'm going to end the stream for the night. And I'm going to get some rest, because it's a school night. But holy shit.
I've got your back.
Let's see. We've been at this for not quite 2 hours, and I think he's leveled almost 4 times. I mean, that's just how busy we've been with combat and all that stuff.
I work for
It's
Bella.
kind of amazing.
A general goods store.
Heard they're reforming the Dawn Guard. Vampire hunters or something. In the old fort, the rift. I could see them. What is it? Dragons?
An ass man who said, "Let me show you the power of Talos Stormcrown."
Let me show you the power of Talos, because I am an ass man. Alright, let's do this.
Interesting. A shield on the back. This is
Let's
why.
get going.
This is why I need to swap
Still
out their
here.
shields. Right. In fact, let's do that. Help. So Viking shield, red. Now Gallia won't need it because she's fighting with two-handed weapon. But let's grab 3 of them anyway.
I'm right behind. I've got your back.
Tweak options. Gear. Let's see. We'll enable the outfit management. Okay. How you doing there? View the standard outfit. So I love these Imperial shields. I mean, they're pretty awesome. The only problem with them is that we don't have meshes for dual sheath redux. So when they put the shield on their back, they get the default, which looks weird. So what we're going to do is did I grab those shields? What's happening? Am I losing my mind?
Viking shield red, 27 AA. I'm super confused. They're not showing up in my inventory. Why would that be?
Lead on.
Okay, I'm going to say screw it at this point. I just thought it might be a useful way to keep track of them during the battle so we can kind of see what our own followers are doing when things get nutty. But he needs a shield, so let me give him back his old one, I guess.
You lead, I'll follow.
I might just be a servant among lords, but don't think for a moment I will.
How long until we arrive?
Sir. Not long. They're hiding in the countryside.
Damn it. What's he waiting for?
Sir?
What?
Sir, they're on the move. They'll be at the gates at any moment.
Why didn't you say so immediately?
Sir,
You've returned with my axe. I knew that would be his response. As soon as you left, I sent word to General Tullius, who's been kind enough to lend us some of his troops, and Legate Scipius here. Let Ulfric try to make it past our combined forces. I'll turn you back over to your legion. Legate Scipius will have use for you. Gods be with us all. This is it. Time to see what these storm cloaks are made of.
Men are already gathering at the gates. Move it, soldier. Spread the word. Go, go, go!
Can't wait to kill another of Ulfric's boys. The Stormcloaks are here, in force. Get down to the front line. This is it. We must hold the city. Now move it!
I'm right behind you.
I serve Jarl Balgruuf as steward.
It seems our enemies have no end of spies, saboteurs, and assassins to steal.
All right. All right.
It's so long since I killed a Stormcloak, my sword arm's getting flabby.
All right, it has begun. I think we're good. Let's do this.
Mister, could you spare a coin?
Not right now.
Auxiliary. Keep your guard up.
Keep an eye out for trouble.
Stormcloaks will be here any minute.
Keep an eye out for Stormcloak spies.
Let's see what we can do. Quick save here, just in case we get mauled. There's some weirdness going on here. We'll play it through, though. Let's play it through.
Everyone, on me! The Jarl wishes to speak.
Is he coming up here, or what does he do? Or do we talk to him? Let's talk to her. Okay. Because he's just standing at the gate right now. He's going to give some sort of speech. Maybe we need to talk to him. Nope, he's busy too. And where are my followers? I don't know what happened to them. He's got stage fright. Oh, here he comes. I think the dog would be at the back, huh?
Today, even as the gods revel in your honor. They already sing of your valor and skill. The halls of Sovngarde are no doubt ringing with your praises. In defeating these storm-cloaked traitors, you have proven the hollowness of their cause and the fullness of your hearts. The citizens of Whiterun are forever in your debt. But Ulfric will not stop here. No, he will continue to strike out against any true Nord who remains faithful to the Empire. He will continue
Lone Stormcloak just wandering around.
wherever he can. And so, we must, each one of us, continue to fight this insurrection, lest our fallen brothers have died for naught. Lest our honor be lessened, should we allow these bloodthirsty beasts to prowl our lands. Carry on, men. My gratitude and blessings go with you. For Whiterun, for the Empire!
Interesting.
Yes.
The battle over? Or is it still going?
I've got your back.
Very strange.
I feel so alive.
Oh, shit.
Yes, Sarah?
Oh, shit. I wonder if War Zones is doing something now, too, I bet. Let's just check it.
Thank you for your...
Sorry, no time. Because I was getting messages there for war zones, which I don't know if that's fighting inside or outside, but it'll show you advantage, disadvantage messages. So let's see what's happening.
What is it that you need?
We'll just go up to Dragon's Reach, kind of mill around here and see if anything has changed. Doesn't look like there's any fighting going on, but there could be some outside the city, maybe.
If those rebels think they can best us, they have another thing. Don't do that.
Yes, so
This is weird. Seems like war zones at work. Guards are running around like there's somebody fighting. That's probably bells.
Rise up, Stormcloaks! Embrace the word of mighty Talos! He, old man, and
We could kill him right now and no one would know it. Well, the barricades and all that setup, I mean, that's kind of like, that's like the battle from the Stormcloak perspective, so I'm not sure what's happening.
Me, eh? Don't fancy those clunky two-handed weapons.
Let's go down to the stables. Yeah, I better do some research on war zones and figure out what's going on with that. But we've got a save that is right before the battle, so we can try some stuff. But this is why everything gets play tested extensively. That's why I do all of this work before I start a story, because I need to know when shit like this is going on. Honestly, the Battle of Whiterun is way more interesting from the Stormcloak perspective, unfortunately. Which is kind of a bummer. I mean, with the Stormcloaks, you get to fight your way all the way into the city, through the city, up into Dragon's Reach, and then there's a big battle inside there. It's way more interesting, I think, that way. But it is what it is.
what is it that you need?
Need supplies? See Bellathor at his store. Sleazy little man, but he has good stuff.
Okay, there's also an adjustment for the bells mod too, which when you do the install, they don't ring so loudly. Okay, who are we fighting still? Who are we fighting?
You're that one from the college.
I think I was moonwalking. Yeah, this is bugged the fuck out. I don't know.
You have my attention. Speak your mind.
Should be here any minute. Hurry, get inside and lock your doors.
I've already been here. Yeah, it's totally fucking glitched. So I'm not sure how to get out of this. I'll have to Now I'm going to have to research about 5 or 6 different mods and figure out what the fuck is going
You
on.
made it. Huh. I was sure I'd find you face down in the dirt.
That's actually a really good thing for him to say to Kaleo. I think I sort of like that. Now, yeah, it's like the war is still going on because my followers won't follow me outside the gates. What's with that? And he's
still
parked
ringing.
here.
I hope that goes away.
Yeah, all of that
Colors
stuff would
seem
be
brighter
super
to you?
cool if it happened
Everything
before
seems
the
bigger,
battle.
too. Strange.
Huh. Interesting. Well, I'll keep track of this save, and
Safe up here. Return to your homes immediately.
we'll try some different combinations. See,
Come drag in
all
all
my
the
followers
items.
won't come outside,
I'm still here.
and I'm thinking that maybe that's because they want you as the player character to go through that battle alone. See, and I'm assuming that this is put in by war zones. You see that guy just went down into the
Safe up here.
sewers.
Return to your homes immediately.
Awesome.
If those rebels think they can best us, they have another thing coming.
Gonna bandit tried to take refuge. That was a bad idea.
God might get nervous. Man approaches with his weapon.
What the rebels like to forget is that the Empire is what's keeping the Dominion on the sky.
I've got your back.
Well, I am not sure. I may have to uninstall. What I probably do is uninstall the Bells mod
I saw something near Shimmer Mist Cave.
and then play through it again.
Some kind of creature.
First of all, let's... All right, we've got time. We'll play through it one more time. And let's just try an experiment here, because it's the Bells of Skyrim mod that makes people run around in a panic. Let's just disable that ESP. Or... Let's run loot. Okay, loot moved it around a little bit. No. It did move some things around. Okay, I'm going to just run loot, and then I'm going to play through one more time. Night, Jaren. Thanks for coming in. Catch you next time. All right, it's almost midnight here. It's 15 minutes till. I got to get to bed by midnight, so 15 minutes should be enough time for us to run through that battle once more and see if anything changes. I'm going to leave the bells in, but just run loot. Try that as an experiment and see what happens. All right. All right. Quick. Okay, this was... Well, shit. I'm thinking... Let's go to this autosave here, which is right as we're ordered. This is right after we're ordered to the gates. Because I'm interested in seeing if the bells are behaving differently at this point. So let's see what happens. I'm assuming that the followers don't come outside with me because that is intended to be a solo encounter. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. Ah, fuck. I think I don't have any choice. But to do this. Now, if I really wanted to, I could go back and play through with this, but I'm not gonna. I'll start here, see what happens. See if anything's different this way. Okay. Fucking deer. Jesus Christ. Okay. The way this battle is structured is pretty frustrating, to be honest.
I submit, though.
Okay, report to the Jarl.
Everyone, on me! The Jarl wishes to speak.
Report to Legate Rick.
You made it. Huh.
Oh, where's the legate? Okay, I have to report to her after this is concluded. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, now we gotta wait for Balgriff to get up the moxie to talk to people, right? Ugh, we gotta sit through the goddamn speech again. Yeah, all the way back to Solitude, I suppose. We'll see. I think after this battle is over, that's when the next mod I've got going kicks in, which is Commanders of Skyrim, which will allow us to play through the remaining parts of the Civil War without having to report back to Solitude between every fight. Hello. Come on, corksucker. Cork soaker. Yeah, something's fakakta with this, man. Imperials are disadvantaged for 5 minutes, killing the field commander. See, that is definitely a message
Even as the gods revel in your honor.
from war zones.
They already sing of your valor and skill. The halls of Sovngarde are no doubt ringing with your praises. In defeating these storm-cloaked traitors.
Oh, the
you
battle's
have
going on in the
broken
forest
hollowness of their
over there.
cause
That's what's
and the
happening.
fullness of your hearts. The citizens of Whiterun are forever in your debt. But Ulfric will not stop here. No, he will continue to strike out against any true Nord who remains faithful to the Empire. He will continue to sow discord and chaos wherever he can. And so, we must each one of us continue to fight this way. That's all you've got?
Uh-oh. There we go. Upskirt shot. Okay. Yeah, we got all kinds of problems here. But I think that's what's going on, is the battle is continuing out here in the forest. So and obviously, because of the way the thing is structured, I'm not going to be able to bring my followers with me. So I can't really use that as a plot device like I was hoping to. But what we can do is we can intensify the battle by fighting our way out the front gate, down the road, and continuing right into the forest, and continue the battle, just carry the battle all the way out here. Because Warzone is adding to the Battle of Whiterun, but it's doing it out here. So So this could still work, I think. We just make an adjustment. which could be kind of interesting and dramatic if we can carry this battle all the way through
That's it. That's all you've got.
and kind of fight our way solo through the forest all the way back to Camp Argentum. That could be sort of interesting. Ugh. Which is kind of right where this fight is carrying us, to be honest. Oh, okay. Whoa. So let's just keep making our way towards the camp and see what this does. Because for story purposes, if we end up like fighting through the siege and then making it back to Camp Argentum and kind of walking through the gates a big bloody mess like this, like he is just... Yeah, we got a ways to go yet. Oh man, they are everywhere out here. Oh, shit. Oh wow, there's a siege engine up there that's really close to the walls. Holy shit, where does this battle go? This is actually kind of amazing now that I'm thinking about it. Oh yeah. Now what we could do is we could strategically place... Okay, Stormcloaks are disadvantaged for 5 minutes. Killing the field commander will aid Imperials. Good luck fighting the field commander in this mess, right? We could strategically place our followers outside the gates of Whiterun. And after Balgriff's speech, we could gather them up and hit the forest, and we would come into this mess at higher difficulty with our followers in tow. That would be another way we could handle it, I guess.
Call yourself a warrior?
Ah. It's good to know there's some other Imperials out here, but everybody's so spread out and the trees are so thick, it's impossible to tell who's where. Is it over?
That's your best, huh?
It is not over. Sniper in the tree. That's funny. I wonder if she got stuck there when she was levitating or something. Okay, where the hell are we? Okay, there's the giant camp there. We gotta let the archers take care of the sniper there. Okay, now they've sheathed their weapons and they're walking back. So does that mean that's over?
Keep an eye out for Stormcloak spies. Stay alert. Never know when those storm...
Okay, interesting. Well, we'll have to think about this. We'll have to do some more play testing.
Can't wait to kill another of Ulfric's boys.
But we will do so. That is the whole point of this business, as it were. All right. Well, that's going to be it. Hey, look at they released my followers now who are catching up with me. So, yeah, we'll that's how we'll play it. We'll see how that goes. Ah, the battle is joined. Thank you all for your attendance this evening. This has been great fun. Much battle to be had. But it's all good experimentation. So I appreciate it. And thank you all for your help and all of your input. So we will reconvene for more of this. I'll probably do one this weekend sometime, hopefully, if I can come, if I can find a couple hours to scrape together. Maybe we'll do some more. But at this point, a lot of the things that we need to establish, just in terms of look and feel and all that kind of stuff, background, a lot of it is established, and we're kind of in this refining stage. And a lot of the refinements that we do are going to be completely dependent on the experiences that we have when we try these different mods out. So I think this Battle of Whiterun is one of these that we're going to have to play through many times over to see how it all plays out. Because unfortunately, I'm doing this live, and without the benefit of recording and post-production, I can't clean up stuff that doesn't make sense. So thank you all for your input, and I will catch you all in the next stream. Good night.